Welcome to Used Tools. Today I'll be showing you how to sand and varnish your dull and dirty hardwood floors. Now, there's a few different ways you can sand your floors. The most efficient way is renting an industrial sander. Those either come as a drum sander or a sheet sander, and they're great for doing large surfaces like floors. However, you may not be in a location that rents these things. Maybe you're out in the country, small town, I don't know. You can't get your hands on an industrial sander. I'm going to show you how to use your everyday hardware store belt sander that you can pick up for less than 200 bucks. I'll be using two different grits of belts for this sanding job. I got my 50 grit for taking off the old finish and eating through the scratches and stuff. And then I've got the 120 for smoothing down the surface. You can use different grits than this. You can, use multiple levels of grits, but I'm just doing a quick and easy job, so this is what I'll be using. Now, belt sanding your floors is super easy as long as you follow a few simple rules. Number one, you always want the belt going in the direction of your wood grain. Never put it crosswise like this, otherwise you'll end up with scratches all over the place that are hard to get out. So always keep it parallel with the wood grain. Next, I don't like to go back and forth like this because the edge of the belt will start to eat grooves in the wood along the path that you're taking. So I like to go in swirling motions like this, always maintaining the direction of the grain. You don't want to be going like this. That's just going to get scratches all over the place that are hard to get out. Always keep it in the direction of the wood grain. Nice circular motions. And the circular motions mean that you'll smooth over any humps and you won't get grooves from the edge of the belt. So it's pretty easy. You just do like this. So after that first little quick sanding with the 50 grit, you can see the difference it's made. The fresh wood is exposed, and because the belt sander was going in the direction of the wood, all the scratches from the belt are in the same direction as the grain, and they look pretty decent. You don't get a lot of cross scratches, which tend to look terrible. And you can see some of the character that's left behind. For instance, you've got these darker areas where there's some old finish. You've got a few dents, maybe some staining in the wood, different shades and highlights. And that's okay if you want that kind of rustic, well-worn look, which some people really like. If you want a perfect, nice, fresh look, then you just keep sanding and sanding until all the dark spots and scratches are gone. If you've got little divots like this where the wood's actually dented or chipped out, you can fill those with epoxy, let it cure, and then take your belt sander or whatever and sand over top of it to smooth it down, and that'll take care of that. Personally, I'm going to leave a lot of the old character in the wood. Number one, I like the look. Number two, it's pretty efficient to do because I don't have to spend as long sanding. So I've got the whole floor sanded now. You'll probably notice that it's not in a pure brand new sort of state. I've still got a little bit of old varnish, especially at the edges of the boards and the ends of the boards. There's still a few scratches and dents, miscolorations, things like that, but I'm going to leave those because I want to retain the original character of the hardwood in its weathered state. However, that being said, it's good to have a consistent look to the hardwood. You notice that there's no kind of cleaner parts, there's no dirtier parts. It's all kind of uniform with its imperfections. I'll be using an oil-based varnish on this floor. You can use oil-based or water-based, it's really your choice, or even oil if you wanted to. But I'm using oil-based because the original finish on here was an oil-based. So because I didn't get all the original finish off, this will match it and kind of blend the old stuff in with the new a little bit better than the water-based would. Also, this is going to be a little bit faster for me to use because I'll be using a roller to put it on, and you can't roll on water-based, I guess, clear coat because it foams up and you'll get bubbles in your finish after it dries and it's going to look terrible. So prior to varnishing, I took a vacuum and I vacuumed everything thoroughly. I vacuumed twice just because if you have dust and hairs and everything else, you're going to get a bad kind of finish after it dries.